this is part 5 of how I became a tribe member and how I lived my life. And I remember one night, I was with a group of friends. We had a group, some were in the gang and some were like just gangster wannabes, and or they knew someone that was in a gang and they were pushing drugs or whatever. And I remember that night we went to a rave, we went to Kickon, same place as we usually go. It was a place in the city, near the casino, because that mate, he had a apartment in near the casino, in that area. So it was the end of the rave. We kicked on, and a friend of mine made a bet with me, and he goes, "Jimmy, do you want to peak more? Do you want to take more drugs or get high more?" And I said, "Oh, I don't think I could possibly can take any more drugs or get any higher than I am right now." And he goes, "You want to make a bet?" And I was like, "Okay, let's make a bet." And then he puts two caps full of MDMA crystals, and he puts them on a plate, and he goes, "Bro, rack this, bet you'll get high." And I racked them. Rack just means sniffing with the nose, and straight away, boy, bonkers, boy, I was flying. I was straight into the second heaven, if you will. I was flying, and then it was just too much for me, and I got to a point, I'm like, I need to lie down, and I could feel my body was collapsing. I was ODing, and I said, and it was one of these moments that I said to God, "Look, God, save me." I knew of God. I had foundations with God. I used to study with the Jehovah's Witnesses, had some Catholic schooling, and I knew of God, but I didn't know of the true God of the Bible. And I was like, "Oh God, if you're real, don't let me die. I'm too young to die." I was only maybe 24, maybe a bit older, 26 at the time. And I was like, "God, if you're real, not today." And I could feel my body going in and out of consciousness, and I was overdosing. And suddenly, boom, I just felt this light, this energy hit me, and I was like, "Oh, whoa!" I woke up, and I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "Bro, you really put some hard drugs in there. That was not hard drugs, but good stuff in there." And that was me. That was that was where I was in my heart. And I think of how well I hit it among my peers. I think some people knew something was up. I had performance issues at work, and I think some people knew that. They did the maths and said, "Oh, well, Jimmy can't afford this on a nurse's salary," and I hit it so well for many years. And it just got to a point, and I knew a lot of people. I knew from different things. We worked together, different gangs, but it just got to a point where I remember one party, one of the Dalos had won a jackpot, $800. We went to the usual karaoke spot. There's girls, there's champagne, and they used to bring out the champagne. I think it was either the Dom Perignon or the I forgot the other one. And they would come with the sparklers and the shots and people making out as girls. And for once in my life, I didn't see the beautiful girls. I didn't see the alcohol. I didn't see the lyrics on the screen that used to lit up, and I didn't see the fun. And that was the first time I felt conviction in my heart that what the world has to offer me is empty. It's just pure emptiness. And I just, for once, prior to all that, it was all fun and games. It was all you're worthful, you're a champion, you make money, blah blah blah, you're a sick CUNT, you're a gangster, you're a G, you're this, you're that. But at that particular moment, I think it was probably 2013, because God worked many years before I actually gave my life to Christ, and I said enough is enough. I don't want to live this life anymore. And I remember, because I put it up as a Facebook post, And I remember the verse God inserted into my heart, the verse God gave me, and it says, it's from a Bible verse, but I paraphrase, and God gave me this, and he said, I know the things that you seek from the world, but the things that you seek in the world cannot be found. It can only be found in me. And from that point, I search for something. I search, for truth and for meaning and for existence and for peace. And I even tried to find it in drugs. I think a lot of people go to drugs because they're looking for meaning. And I remember at one penthouse party, it was one of those Meriton penthouse parties. We booked the whole penthouse suite for, I think, it wasn't just one, I think it's 2 nights. We did what we called, I think it was called a hippie flip. Is it candy flip or hippie flip? I can't remember. I think it's when you pop ecstasy and you pop a pill and then you smoke weed to like mellow it out. And no, it was a hippie flip. Sorry, what we did was we took mushrooms and then took ecstasy to mellow it out. I forgot the order. Anyway, we took drugs, and I remember after taking drugs, I felt this peace, and it was a counterfeit peace because it didn't last long. And I remember it was a peaceful place. And I can get how people try to take drugs because they want to find that peace. And drugs is a counterfeit peace because the only true peace that can, soothe your soul and fix what's broken in your heart is the peace of God and the wisdom, the wisdom in this book, the Bible, the wisdom in the Word, the Holy Bible. Only the Bible can give us that peace. So, I hope this speaks to someone. I hope there's someone out there, whether you're in a prison cell or, whether you accidentally swiped on this or, you know me or you know me from church or you know me from somewhere, you know me from work. I hope I speak to you. And, the peace of God only the peace of God can heal you. To look at me from where I came from to where I became, I was a wretched human being, that, murdered twice, and I committed all the sins of the 10 Commandments, even murder, two unborn babies died because of me. It wasn't my choice. Both times it was the woman that wanted to abort, but that's murder. Murder has to be counted as murder, and the Bible says abortion is murder. So all the 10 commandments, I committed them all. So I was really becoming a bad person, and I was only probably one step away from dying. I didn't do all the evil, the Epstein level evil stuff, but I did some evils. And God, thank God, there was a God that saw my heart and saw my contrite heart. And contrite just means a heart that knows when it's doing wrong. And I look at where I was and my journey from Hillsong to various different churches and to the current church that I'm in now. And thank God for He sent His Word Ministries. I'm saved and I've been transformed into a new human being, a person that loves people, a person that has patience, kindness, generosity. And it's not generosity so you look good, it's genuine generosity that, from the love that Christ puts in your heart, you are then generous and you become a blessing to bless on others. And thank you that comes to the end of part 5 of how I became a triad member and how I lived my life. And please enjoy and listen to the next part 6. Thank you.